Do not miss Afia TV Official, your perfect dose of laughter, where they discuss what is currently trending on social media every day at 5:30.
In case you just tuned in, you're watching News Today right here on Afia TV. And yesterday, March 17th, 2025, marked 3 years since Governor Chukwuma Soludo took office in Anambra State. While his administration has recorded some achievement, a non-partisan group says many of his campaign promises remain unfulfilled. While acknowledging progress in areas like education and clean energy, they, however, highlighted areas like unfinished flyovers and shopping malls, delayed social protection programs, and the failure to conduct local government elections as major concerns, amongst other issues. The question now would be whether the Soludo solution has lived up to expectations, or is there still a long way to go? Now, joining me to discuss this are Lukman Adamu, who is joining virtually, the communications manager at Advocacy Foundation, and Sylvia Chidera Emmanuel, lead investigator at Soludo Meter. You're welcome on the program, Sylvia.
The pleasure is all mine.
Hello, Lukman. Are you there with us? Lukman, are you there with us? Okay, let's just start with you. All right, you're welcome. If you can hear me, I said you're welcome.
I hear you.
All right, so let's start with you, Sylvia. Let's begin with your ratings. How would you rate the performance of the governor on a scale of 1 to 10? I mean, you were out on the field, you visited places, you're in Anambra State, you've seen what has been happening since the governor assumed office. How would you rate his performance from a scale of 1 to 10?
I would actually rate it 7, based on the fact that, yeah, there are a lot of promises that are yet to be fulfilled, but we can also look at the state of things when he became governor. We can also look at, physical observations like the roads, the, different education sectors, the phone city he's building, the drainage system he has been creating for a while now. So while there's still a very long way to go, the fact that he has, has so many projects at different places at different times shows that he's more dedicated to seeing some of those promises completed, at least before his tenure is over.
So did you notice a major improvement in the state?
Compared to how it was before he became governor, yeah, there is a major improvement. Aesthetically, the capital city is looking better. When you look at the aesthetics of the state right now, you enter into Oka now, everywhere is really fine, it's looking good, it's looking neat. That is one of the most important things about a city. And that entrance into that city and looking at everything and it's looking so good will tell you a long way how much progress has been done. So I would say when you come into the city, everywhere is looking good, there's fresh air. So we can say that things are going well. Then at the same time, it's now when you start entering into the major sectors like tourism, and you go to the primary healthcare centers, then you can start seeing the faults and the things that needs to be done. But once you step into the city, there is a huge difference. There's good drainage system, the water is flowing properly, there's lights, and the roads are well, constructed. So yeah.
So your reports, your investigation highlights key areas like economic development and governance reforms as still lagging. Can you break down the most pressing issues?
Well, economic reforms, like I said, tourism. You look at the major tourist attractions in Oka, Obunike Cave, Orezukala. We have, places like the, waterfalls. You have, just the tourism sector entirely seems to have been overlooked. Apart from Agulu Lake Resort that has been completed and the hotel is really functioning properly, other tourist sectors are not working at all. Some of them don't have access roads. You can't go to the road without entering a motorcycle, and sometimes the road is just very, very bad. You abandon it halfway. You manage to enter into the tourist resorts. There's no hotel, no canteen, no public restroom. So it's not, apart from Aguli Lake right now, and the current Falls City under construction, the other natural tourist attractions like the caves and the waterfall, nothing is being done there. So economically, there is a disadvantage because these are places that actually, attract investors, attract tourists. People come, from different places to see these attractions. And mind you, these are natural, results that nature has bestowed upon us. So it not being managed is actually, detrimental to the state. So that is one of the major, economic issues that we've encountered while going through the physical observation. Then you also look at, some security issues at some point in time. Some places are not as secure as others. We noticed a lot of improvement though. Lots of security officers now are patrolling the roads, but still a lot of tout behavior can be seen along those sides, especially along Onitsha axis. If you enter Onitsha, you have so many touts plying the road, and if you're not very careful, you can get robbed at the broad daylight. So it's a problem, and economically it's also a very big issue because it affects everything.
Okay, but there was a time, I think after a year in office or two of Soludo in office, he banned touts from collecting taxes from people on the road and all of that. So what if these people are just acting on their own accord?
I'm not blaming the government for tout behavior. Okay. These are things that exist in different places and different states, not just in Anambra State. And yes, he did ban tout behavior, but that doesn't really stop any of them actually, because a lot of them are still on the road. We move every single day. You're on the road, you see somebody collecting money from the drivers, you see somebody collecting money. And then apart from that, we're looking at touts that ply, they're just lazy, so they move around trying to pick pockets from people.
All right, thank you. Let's hear from Lukman. Lukman, are you still with us?
I'm here.
Okay, so you were part of the people that went into the investigation. What motivated you to conduct an investigation into Soludo's administration so far?
Okay, so the Soludo meter is a project under our Promise Tracker initiative. Promise Tracker initiative collects and tracks promises of high socio-economic impact across the country. We launched actually with the Buhari meter in 2021 to track promises of President Muhammadu Buhari. Then we had the legislative agenda meter to track the activities of the 9th Assembly led by Femi Bajabianga. So it only made sense that since the Soludo Anambra state election was the next in line, because it's off-cycle election, so it was the next in line. So we just started tracking that. And the goal behind the whole Promise Tracker initiative is to improve service delivery while also increasing citizen engagement.
Okay, thank you so much, Lukman. What would you say is the reason for this based on your investigation? Because we know before Soludo took office, the present administration, when I mean the present administration, I'm talking about the President Tinubu's administration, was not, in office. He took office in 2022, and then we did the presidential election in 2023. And since the assumption of President Tinubu, we've noticed some notable changes. Would you say the reason he has not fulfilled some of his promises is due to external factors, or would you say it's a result of mismanagement? What do you think is the reason behind this from your investigation?
I can't say it's anybody else's fault other than Governor Soludo, because it's more important for Soludo himself, because he was part of the Anambra Vision 2050 committee. He chaired the committee actually, so he has seen the problems of Anambra State firsthand. He even recommended solutions, and time and time again he comes out to say that we are not coming here unprepared. We are ready for governance, and so saying it's the fault of the economic hardship is credible. Is a credible excuse, but no. I would say he's making progress, but the misgivings or the shortcomings of his administration is solely on him. It's his duty to find solutions.
Like you said, we've seen improvements in some areas. We saw, talking about digital governance improvements, we saw the land administration digitization and the GIS system that was launched recently. Why don't you recognize these achievements as part of him fulfilling his promises?
Okay, so it is recognized in the reports. That promise is part of the kept promises. You also have to, when the key achievements, why it was not listed as one of the key achievements, is you have to pick promises. You can't highlight all the promises kept as a key achievement. So you have to rate them based on socio-economic impact. How many people in Anambra State actually have the money to go into these land transactions? How many people are going into land transactions daily? While it's a welcome development because of how easy it is for investors to come into the states, we're looking at what has the things that have higher socioeconomic impact for the people of Anambra, like the industrial and tech park. That will create a lot of jobs, and it has already started. The lands have been allocated. It's listed there. The Anambra State Development Fund also, and although this Light Up Anambra initiative is still not, should I say, adopted statewide, but it is also something that has great potential, and the socioeconomic impact of energy can't be understated in this economy.
In all of this, what would you say is the most pressing issue to you that you've noticed in Anambra State?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said, can you break down the most pressing issues? You know, you've listed some things that have not been done, some promises that have not been fulfilled. And I'm asking, can you break down the most pressing issues from your investigation?
Okay, yeah. Part of this report has a recommendation section because we are not just here to list problems. We are not that type of organization. We don't witch hunt. So the recommendations here, there are about 5 promises which we feel he still has the opportunity to achieve this within this last year. The first one is to provide 20 to 24-hour uninterrupted power supply in Anambra State. We brought examples from Lagos State, and it's good. Last week, a bill was signed to aid this. Unfortunately, we had stopped tracking for the sake of our report by then. We would have captured it in the report. But yeah, he's making moves, like I said. The first one is the power promise. The other one is field emplantments to help control flooding in Anambra West. When we visited the communities in Anambra West, it was a sight for sore eyes. The people, the way they spoke about the flood that comes yearly is heartbreaking. It's heart-wrenching. You have industrious people, they are fishermen, they are farmers, and this flood sweeps them every year. They complain that relief materials, they just see it in the news, they just hear about it on the news about relief materials, they don't get anything. And it's been 3 years, nothing has been done to address their problems. There's the specific programs to empower women-owned businesses. You have to understand that Nigeria is a patriarchal society, and so it's almost innate for women to be sidelined. And you can't say women don't have a crucial role to play in the economy of the nation as a whole, not just Anambra State, even historically. But these women, they have barriers to getting funding. And Governor Soludo promised to empower these women-owned businesses, link them to development financial institutions and whatnot to empower them to empower their businesses. And so far, we could not get any specific program, we could not get concrete proof of any specific program doing that. So it's part of the recommendations. The timely payment of benefits for all pensioned senior citizens. Anytime Soludo is talking about payment of pension, he's always putting it in a bracket like retirees from 2020, retirees from 2018. It shouldn't be so. He also promised to create a sustainable safety net for these retirees so that life after work is not jungle for them, where they can, have some cash transfers or even just economic incentives to help them get through life after diligently serving the state for most of their life. Then the other one is to review, amend, and operationalize the fiscal responsibility law. While you will applaud Governor Soludo for his performance with transparency in the state, you have to understand that if it is not a law, then it might end with Soludo. If you don't make it a law, the next governor might not come and do it. So we are imploring him to kind of cement his legacy in the transparency and accountability.
All right, Lukman. All right, Lukman. Thank you so much. Our time is fast spent. Thank you so much. So Sylvia, with 1 year left in Governor Soludo's tenure, what would you like to see? Just in 5 seconds, please.
In 5 seconds, I would like to see a proper primary health care center. And I would also like to see the people of the flooded communities in Anambra East and West to have proper incentives to not just prevent flooding, but also to make their life better. They don't have those healthcare facilities too. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today. And that's all on the news today. Many thanks for staying with us. Do not forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Afia TV Official. I am Marvelous Apwamaga. Do have a lovely day.